Welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Trees,
It's Nels.
and today we are here to do our recap of the Real Housewives of Dubai season 2. This is the reunion part 2, and we are closing it out. Thank God they didn't make this 3 parts. But yeah, y'all. So we appreciate you being here with us. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it and let's get shady. Oh, I ain't got my glass full.
Ugh.
So we pick up where we left off, and they are arguing, still arguing about the whole Talene, Rafi, and Brooks situation. Andy is questioning Brooks on why she thinks Rafi, got involved, and Brooks says she doesn't know, but says that she asked him basically to stay out of it. And Talene says that he was basically just de-escalating the situation. So Brooks asked Andy if they're really going to sit and debate about a man yelling at her and screaming profanities in her face. And I don't know about y'all, but I did think it was Andy was like, well, y'all are friends. You said y'all were friends before. And then apparently it comes up that this is not the first time that Rafi and that Rafi and Talene have had it out. And apparently, according to Talene, she had cussed him out at a birthday party or something like that. And so
Spit in his face too.
Oh. And they friends after that? They was able to get past that?
Well, it's possible she was a little twisted because clearly she didn't remember doing it. She's like, I ain't spitting nobody's face.
Oh, girl. Yeah. 1 drink minimum for you, boo. So anyway, so basically one of the viewers brings up Talene's concerns about Brooks missing her flight to Bali even after their argument. Talene says both her and Rafi tried calling her. They called Glass House looking for her, and they were genuinely concerned. Brooks said that made her feel good, and that that everyone asked about her besides Stansberry. And basically they bring up the issues between the ladies over the Balinese dresses and how it brought Brooks, Stansberry, and Talene back together. Lisa said that it wasn't so much. She said she was mortified, and it wasn't so much about the dresses and more about how she felt bad for the designer. Since she's a designer herself. And then we learn, I guess the designer's name is Sugdit. No, that's how you pronounce it though. Mm-hmm. But that's her. It's Sakdek, but the way Ayan pronounced it, and everybody had this whole like, oh my God, like trying to play Ayan. And she's like, no, I'm actually saying it right. And she was actually saying it right. So anyway, and Andy's like, well, I ain't got no issues with something. And I say, Andy, okay, this is not about your precarious Diddy situations that you be going through. So Andy brings up how Talene has offered many apologies to Brooks and wants to know what she needs to move forward. So Brooks says she's content with that. When Andy asks what Talene needs, she says she wants Brooks to take accountability for going on a smear campaign against her family. And Brooks does bring up the fact that we did see Talene's mom, I did not forget about that, imply that Brooks was an alcoholic and her sister called her unhinged. And Talene tells her, well, but you are unhinged. So Brooks says that, she ain't got nothing else to say. And Talene brings up her multiple tweets that she made. And Ayan and Andy agree that Brooks does spend a lot of time on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And so she admits that her responses don't always match the energy that's given to her. And she does need to work on not always coming at 100 when people are only coming at her at 50. And I said, you could learn that. And so Talena's like, is that supposed to be you apologizing? And I was going to say, didn't you learn from the last time you asked something like that in that way? Sometimes, like, I'm starting to believe, and not to say that Talene is wrong in any way, But I'm starting to believe it's your delivery. I don't think you're wrong in what you're saying all the time. It's the way that you deliver it that I think people don't quit. But that's just my opinion. And so basically, um, Brooks does finally admit that she took things too far. So Andy tells them they need to have a side conversation, and that's when we see the ladies break for lunch.
Yes, so they break for lunch. Talene told Sarah backstage that in order for her and Brooks to move forward, they need to have an honest conversation. Okay, she said, especially after her constantly apologizing like 1,000 times. You know, she no more of the sweeping under the rug. So Brooks told Lesa, you know, basically what the hell is going on with Ayan. She thinks she's losing it, while Ayan feels like she fell for Lisa's bait. Basically using the victim word. Lesa knows that that's a trigger word for her. Then Stansbury ends up with, I don't know where they at, in California.
No, they were in New York. They were in New York.
I would have took off the whole dress. She ended up with a roach sticky pad stuck to the bottom of her dress. She was like, "We are not in Dubai anymore."
Right. And it's crazy because it makes you think. I'm sure it's very clean. I get what she was saying, but I'm like, you would think that Dubai has roaches. I assume roaches are everywhere. But you know what? We learned from our good guy Lauren the other day on 90 Day that snakes aren't everywhere apparently. So you know, maybe there aren't roaches in Dubai. Yeah.
So Brooks went to go see Talene and told her, you know, she's ready to move forward. And Talene told her that they need to have an honest conversation. She was ready to put it all on the table and go deep in order to do that. Brooks said, yeah, she ain't here for that. Okay. She said she's not about
to need to move on. We just need to move on.
We're not about to rehash all this old stuff. She just wants to move forward. So Talene starts bringing up things, you know, that made her upset. And basically, Brooks told her, I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm not doing this with you right now. So then they go back out, and Andy brings up the golfing trip.
You're not going to talk about how she said she begged her to be on. She was like, you need to tell me when I begged 105 times to be on this show. And she said, but you did. And you weren't casted.
No, because they've had this argument.
I said, well,
no.
But I think that only reason I feel like that needs to be brought up is because
I need receipts.
In my eyes, you can see, this is just from my perspective, you can see that bothers Talene, which in my opinion makes me believe Brooks' narrative that she really, really wanted to be on this show. And so the fact that Brooks is now throwing that in her face.
To me, that doesn't mean anything, because regardless whether it's the truth or a lie, you're going to be bothered by it. If you're lying on me, I'm still going to be bothered by you saying that. If you're telling the truth, it's going to bother me that you brought it up. So to me, her being upset doesn't mean anything. I need receipts.
Well, but Brooks has produced receipts. She has definitely and I mean, I think they did it on the show. Remember
where they receipts of Talene begging to be on the show?
Yeah, like text messages on Twitter. I felt like I said one of that in our recaps because you know, y'all know we be on the Twitter, or I be on the Twitter, and or the X. And Brooks be on the X. That's why.
And she posted this. She posted this on Twitter.
Yeah, and she posted it. She has no problem posting text messages. I mean, she's not the only one. But
before the reunion,
huh?
She did this before the reunion.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember that.
But I feel like that's why Bravo had no choice. I'm not gonna say had no choice, but that's why they went back and showed all the footage of all the times Talene was hanging around season 1. But wasn't on camera, basically trying to become a friend of the show.
Well, all right. So Andy gets into the golf trip, and you know, Ayan in her ball gowns. She says she don't dress for the activity, okay? She dressed for how she feels. What?
So when you said this was we're just speaking candidly, Shade Squad viewers. We're just, because of course we talk off camera before we get up here. But when you said this was boring, I absolutely, I said this was so unneeded. This part about them and being in athletics and whatever, I was like, this was unneeded. And I hate to be a butthole. Sarah was unneeded. Sarah's portion was
It
unneeded.
didn't get interesting to me till the end.
Right? No, it didn't. It didn't. It was a struggle to get through the first 30 minutes, and then the last 10 were good.
Mm-hmm. So then Andy brings up, golfing and how everything went left. Um, and basically, when Lisa asked Brooks why she was offended, she said the first issue was, her getting the services that were offered at her spa. She may do that sometimes when she's abroad, but Lisa said, no, boo, you do. You get services that you offer at your spa somewhere else. Andy said, he watches shows from other networks that he doesn't work on. He doesn't understand what the issue is. She could have definitely got the services. Brooks tried to say that Stansberry and basically Stansberry and Talene got her riled up. While Stansberry said, no, boo, you came into the room while I was getting a massage. And we were actually trying to calm you down. I don't know where she got Stansberry from, but it was really Talene. It was Talene that got her ass riled up. Lisa said, yeah, she gets services outside of the glass house or whatever, and also mentioned that at her big grand opening at the glass house, her and Ayan weren't invited. So basically, why would I try to have my event?
And I ain't never been inside your establishment.
Exactly. I said, well,
I can't disagree with that. So basically, Stansberry says that she feels like the group likes to take each other's wins away. And brings up Lisa saying that Talene doesn't have a business. She said that they all have their own businesses, and brings up someone saying how, or Lisa saying about how Michael was paying her bills, and Lisa accuses Stansberry of always coming after her business, and said that she's been doing it since last season, and obviously Bravo is going to roll through with their receipts. Well, y'all, I just want to say it is officially September 19th, and we have to say happy birthday to our good Judy Mills. Okay. Happy birthday to our favorite Virgo outside of Beyonce. We love her, appreciate her.
You don't even know Beyonce for real. I heard she was a butthole in person, so I'm still the favorite.
Oh, well, only because I know you. So yeah, y'all. So y'all please drop down in the comments, show your love. Let me get back into the recap. So basically, Lisa says that, she went and bought 3. So then this is where, I'm sorry, this fell so flat for me. And I felt like Andy tried to save her before going into it. And she's like, and so he's like, okay, is this plane gonna land? Is this gonna land? And she's like, yes, it's gonna land. And so she pulls out these 3 journals. She said she had bought 3 journals of Stansberry's, which I was confused by this. Maybe you can clear this up. And she said that Stansberry didn't write them and accused her of plagiarism. And I guess this was supposed to be like a read. And I was just like, oh, girl, that didn't land at all. At all.
I guess the way she designed the book or something, I don't know. Yeah, she basically, but Stansberry was like, I never said I wrote them. So for all I know,
and I'm not trying to be mean, but it looked to me, it wasn't like a book. Like, I mean, it was a book, but it wasn't like a biography. It wasn't a fiction story. It was a planner. How much versatility do you need in the days and the weeks and the months? It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't understand. But
I wasn't. But wait, I think was she saying that she stole the look from her, right?
I don't know. Y'all, if y'all drop down the comments, please let us know.
Well, maybe not. I know I think she just said she steals design. She was like, look, she steals design. So maybe she wasn't saying it was from her, but.
So Talene throws shade at Lisa being thirsty enough to buy something of Stansberry, basically just to call her out. Stansberry denied, well, like Nell said, that she ever wrote anything, and mentions how Lisa's creams are from Alibaba. Okay. Now, this you could tell makes Lisa very hot.
I said, oh my
And I'm not
God.
okay. I'm not trying to be biased, but I am gonna be. I have to admit it is unfortunate because we never really get to see Stansberry's businesses. It is unfortunate that when Lisa goes after Stansberry, for the most part, she goes after her. And I think that I can understand where Lisa is coming from. Every time you come for me, it's about my business, and you do it on this public platform, because she did that the first reunion. And now here we are at the second reunion, and now you're telling me people, and I just launched this cream and did whatever, and now you're telling people it's from Alibaba. Like, I did feel like that was kind of like low. Like, that was it basically proved Lisa's point.
I mean, but you brought it up on this public platform and thought I wasn't gonna say nothing. I get the first time. Let's not get it twisted. I get the first time, but you brought up the past experience. Then you tried to accuse me of plagiarism here. So, well, you know what? By the way, since we're talking about it, I do feel like your creams are from Alibaba. I mean, don't matter the platform, you brought it up.
Well, Lisa denies that they're from Alibaba and says that they're from Europe. Ayan said that Brooks is the one that found them on Alibaba. And so Brooks says that basically she ain't taking the fall for this one. And she says it was her, Saba, and Sarah. And so Lisa shows proof that basically her products were made in Bulgaria. But what was so crazy, I found it funny that they didn't have Saba, or at least bring her in for a little bit. That was kind of weird. Usually they will bring in the friend of the show just to give their little piece on whatever the situation was that they were a part of. And I feel like because she went on a trip, I feel like she was around enough that she should have been able to come. But
yeah. All right. So Andy moved on to Stansberry and
Sergio.
I guess, yes, her and Sergio.
And this is after him being visibly annoyed. Like, you could tell Andy was like, this is what we're arguing over Alibaba and journals. I'm done.
Yeah, it was boring as hell. Yeah. One of the fans thought that it was funny that Sergio called himself the man of the house.
And while living in someone else's house.
I think we even said something about that.
Yeah.
And she said she really doesn't consider him to be the man of the house because she's 20 years older than him. And, basically she's done that. She's lived that life and she's vowed to never do it again. Okay. So she likes to be in control of things. And basically the cast agrees that, Sergio kind of just goes with the flow. He doesn't make a big deal out of it. So Andy asked if Sergio has a job. I think we talked about this too. I don't really feel like this was a valid answer.
It wasn't. He basically said what it sounds like to me.
He said they are building a small boutique hotels.
He bought him a hotel. That's what they gave me. She bought him a hotel and said, "You gonna work at it because you need a job."
Totally his, okay. And she wouldn't be with someone who brings totally nothing to her life.
It's basically like you said. She didn't necessarily say that he doesn't do nothing. He just works for me. He works for me.
But not even anymore, because this is something you bought and gave to him.
But it's her money's invested in it. So technically you work.
That's what I mean. She bought it and she said, we're building it. And you're saying it's totally his. You're gifting him.
No, what I think she's saying is, I don't think she's gifting him anything. What I think, one, they're married, so it's joint property. But second of all, I think when she says it's his, meaning this is his business venture, I'm expecting him to work it. I will control the monies, how much goes into it, because she ain't letting them do that. But as far as little things and operations and stuff like that, absolutely. Sergio, he's working for her. He is an employee. That's just my opinion. Y'all can disagree in the comments.
On top of that, it's not even built yet. So no, right now he's not working then.
Well, I'm sure they call and ask him stuff like, what do you want? And that's why when she says we're, that's why she included, that's why she said we are building. Because I'm sure when they have questions.
But it's not producing any money yet.
Well, nothing does. I mean, that's like building a restaurant. Until you can open it, it's not going to make you any money. They got to
So
build it.
is that still considered working?
He's doing something besides being able to be. It gives him something to do besides be a per butt.
Oh, it's busy work. Busy
Yeah.
work. Okay, I got you. All right. So then they talk about the joke that Stansberry made about, their marriage only lasting 10 to 15 years. She said, it's different for a woman. And she's 20 years his senior. So everybody starts talking about how he's never going to leave her. He'll be changing her diapers. And just like Brooks on the sidelines, I was falling asleep watching this. It
And then
was
I'm mad that the rest of these ladies sitting up here. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it happening. And I love how Lesa and Brooks was just like, all right, really, are we gonna really sit here and do this? But there was a point, I don't know if it was this point or something else. Brooks leaned over and said something.
That's what I'm saying. She said, I'm ready to fall asleep.
Oh, is that what she said? Okay, I didn't hear what she said. I was like, ooh, but I knew
literally I was like, girl, me too.
Mm.
So they get on Stansberry and basically, when's she gonna drop this baby? Especially now that it's legal for surrogacy in
Or when
Dubai.
she gonna have somebody else drop this baby?
She said, try for me again next year when somebody else got this bun in the oven. Okay. She said, I ain't got it to do. Then he moved on to Sarah and trying to find love. She basically said, her ex was thirsty as hell. He was a cheater. She hired a detective. He also had exes that reached out to her and sent screenshots. And he was also a butthole. Apparently, he was blowing up his phone while they were in Seychelles. Ayan took the girl's phone and basically said, "Yeah, we done. We done
We're
with
not
it."
doing this. We on vacation.
She said that he got very rude and aggressive. Huh?
I said, we're not doing this. We in Seychelles. Bye. I wish we would. And if I was on an exotic vacation, do you understand how quick I would turn off my phone?
So Andy, checked in. He wanted to see how her son was doing. And she said, he was down bad for about a good 2 months. Okay. But it's really because he loved her and really trusted her. But, he's in therapy. He does what he got to do. And, he's much better now. Ayan gets into the relationship between, Ayan and Lesa.
You mean Andy?
Andy. And you know what it says, Ayan. Andy gets into the relationship between Ayan and Lesa and wanted to know if anything had happened before their Bali trip.
I found this to be interesting.
So Lesa says, yes, she noticed that Rihanna was following. Sorry, I was waiting for it to come. Okay. She noticed that Rihanna was following Ayan and basically told her, girl, reach out to Rihanna and tell her, about, talk to her about wearing my maternity line. So she said that
Rihanna was pregnant at the time. We have to include that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ayan basically said that she reached out to her to get advice about her makeup line. And she responded by telling her, whatever help she needs, she got her back. Ayan said later, well, basically, as soon as they got on camera, Lesa asked, girl, did you ask your best friend, about wearing my Mina Rowe maternity? And basically, Ayan said that she hadn't discussed, I guess, speaking with Lesa about it on camera. So she didn't get permission to talk about it on camera. But my question is, did you talk to her about it? Did you mention?
I don't think that was ever confirmed. Now, so here's what I got from that. What it gave me is if I have my own separate thing that I'm doing, and you have your own separate thing that you're doing, and I get an opportunity to meet someone that can help, that both can help further our situation.
Mm-hmm.
But what it gave me is that Ayan was going to take care of herself first. And so, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think that she could have, and I think that's what Lesa was saying. You could have communicated that, because I think that if I would have said, for example, if I would have said to you, well, hey, Chanel, this is the opportunity. I know you're doing this, but I really want to push my stuff, and get myself in the door first and strengthen this relationship. And then I'll, you know what I mean? After we built a rapport with each other, then I'll absolutely say, hey, you know, my sister got this going on, da da da, whatever. I think that's what
Well,
I was trying to say. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to get good with her. And all you saw was I'm your best friend. And now I have this relationship with this person. So I'm supposed to push you more than I push myself. That's just what I'm thinking. That's how I took it.
And I completely understand that. Right? I completely understand that. My I guess
Well,
so
see, I would have freaked it.
for me, because I don't know how far along Rihanna was in this pregnancy at this time. But at the end of the day, you have a lifetime to talk to her about your makeup line. She's not going to be pregnant forever. So personally, I feel that when she responded, you saw that she responded about your makeup line, and said, you know, anything that you need help with, whatever, I got your back. Hey, you know, also, do you mind wearing a few pieces? I'll have my friend send you out a few pieces from Mina Rowe maternity line. You know, if you really like it, send her a shout out or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Something.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was getting ready to say. I would have freaked it, and if I were Ion, I would have obviously had whatever or started building whatever relationship I was building with Rihanna, and then I would have said, "Hey, girl, do you mind if I send you a couple pieces? I see that you're pregnant. Do you mind if I send you a couple pieces of maternity wear? My homegirl has a whole line," and I would have slid it in the door that way. Mm-hmm. I do think that was the best way to go about it. But again, I'm telling you, I think you kind of said it without saying it, but I think Ion's focus was on her beauty, and it wasn't necessarily on, not saying she wasn't trying to help Lisa, but that wasn't her focus at that time. And I could understand how Lisa might have felt away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then they brought up the voice note and how Lisa knew ahead of time that, it was going to come up at dinner. Production and everybody else basically said that Lisa knew. Lisa said what happened was Ion told her that Stansberry was going to play something, but she didn't know that it was her voice note. Both Lisa and Ion apologized, about the whole voice note situation. Then they got into how the ladies feel Ion is different when Lisa's around. Lisa says she doesn't agree. And basically, if that is the case, it's because she's not there to have her back. While Ion feels like she don't need nobody to have her back. Ayan told Lisa that she had asked her to tone herself down so that she can sit next to Andy Cohen. Do you believe that?
Here's my thing, right? What I picked up from this whole reunion, and this is not trying to be, I don't know, I'm on the fence about how I feel about Ion, especially after this last part. Now, I don't know, everybody seems to be playing the game, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just not really sure. I'm getting to a point where I'm not really sure what's true or what's not. But I do feel like most of what Lisa says is true. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm just starting to look at Ion sideways. Like, I feel like you're looking for maybe you're the one that want to be sitting next to Andy, and that's why you're always looking for.
Yeah, like, even I mean, some of these accusations, if they're untrue, I think towards like how the end when they were, we need to have coffee, whatever. I don't know if they're untrue. I think I would be more like, if you could just sit here, come up with a lie like that.
Well, really. So we're skipping ahead, guys. Sorry, but I mean, look, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of it, right? So my whole thing is, with this whole situation and Brooks putting Lisa on or speakerphone or whatever, and mm-hmm. Ion says that, or Lisa accuses her of wishing, her being unalived,
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to move forward, but I have kids, and her saying that and us being so close for 8 years, that's hurtful. I don't know how we move forward now, because they were getting ready to end the show, but Ayan didn't want to end it.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't trying to leave like that. I think Lisa,
which I actually thought was kind of dope, because
right, I did think it was dope, because you could definitely tell that Lisa was just like, well, it is what it's gonna be, even though they can both admit that they miss each other, the families miss each other. But I think that, I believe it was actually said. That's why I say I have a hard time. I'm looking at Ayan sideways, because I just
no, Lisa said that she heard her say it. She heard
right,
it.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't believe Lisa would stand 10 toes that she misses her. She says it openly. But how can I be cool with you when you sit on a couch and say, I never said that? I never said that. And I heard it out your mouth. How do we move forward? That's why I said I'm looking at Ayan sideways now. And to Lisa's point, we might be able to get somewhere if you could just say, I'm sorry. I was mad when I said that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't think she meant it, but she said it, and Ayan's still sitting over there. Well, that never happened. And that's when I was just like, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's when I kind of turned my nose up to Ayan, and I was like, girl, you would get so much further with honesty. And I don't know if you're just looking for a moment. If you don't want to be painted as the villain or the person that's wrong or the bad friend. Because even when Lisa tried to speak her piece on the whole voice note situation and explaining, like, yes, I was told, Ayan did not want her to finish that. She did not want her to finish that. And that, to me,
all she kept on saying was, let me speak. Let me
It's that, to me, made me believe, because you don't want the rest of the truth to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, because like I said, I'm looking at Ayan sideways. And like I said, it's just, I don't know.
So they get into this word bragging. Lisa said that Ayan told her that basically Stansberry told her that she was bragging about her house in Miami and, her buying her parents' house. So she called Stansberry and asked her, why did she feel like she was bragging? And Stansberry told her that she didn't say that. The only person that has a problem with anybody having anything in the group is your friend. Stansberry said that she didn't say that. And basically Ayan told her that, she believes that she didn't say that, she wouldn't say anything like that. And Lisa kind of is like, oh yeah, because y'all are buddy now. That's why you believe the crap coming out of her mouth.
Right.
Ayan said that, she said that she let everybody know that her son was being bullied at school. So she was bringing him to the party. And if anybody has an issue with her, to let her know, and she will not have her son come. So she's pissed that she told this to everybody. And her and Lisa had this argument in front of her son. Lisa said that she didn't tell it to her because...
And that's what's so crazy. Lisa said, I'm supposed to be your best friend and you didn't tell me that?
Well, no, I didn't think she was saying it like that. I think Lisa...
I think that's how I took it.
I think Lisa was kind of saying, like, I was your best friend and that's why you didn't tell me. If I'm your best friend, you have no reason to tell me, hey, if you have an issue with me, then I'm not going to invite my son. Basically, you didn't say it to me, but we're best friends. So it makes sense why you didn't say it to me. And basically, so she's pissed that all this happened in front of her son. Lisa is saying basically, girl, it happened in front of my in-laws too. So we both made asses basically of ourselves. Andy asked if they wanted to say something nice to each other. Lisa said that the fight that they had, it was petty last year. And basically they would be able to get past it if, she wasn't wishing death on her. And Tracy just kind of went over that already.
Yeah, I was going to say, we covered that for the most part. Yeah. They pretty much, and then they do this gift giving thing. And I think
they both said that they were going to leave the door open. The gift giving thing I thought was kind of funny. I do think that
Stansberry had the best gift.
She definitely had the best gift. It was definitely the best gift. And I don't, is it me that I feel like Ayan changed? Maybe I'm just reading too far into it. I felt like maybe she changed the meaning of the bottle of water, because it's, for me, if somebody gives me a jug of water, I'm gonna think you're calling me thirsty.
That's what I thought. What do you think
You don't remember? She said something. She said this whole thing about how she used to have to go when she was living in her country, how she used to have to go get this water, and basically like now it's easier or something like that. Like I think like she had to walk all these kilometers to get this water, and like just now it's like easier, I guess, now that she has like the jug of water or something like that. I think that she completely
No, I think she was definitely throwing shade and calling her thirsty.
I
I
think
think that was still the intention. I think she was telling that story as a backstory to say, I used to walk miles to get water, but now it's so easy to be so thirsty. I think that's what she was saying to Lisa.
she didn't say thirsty at all though.
I know, but that's what she was. That's why it fell flat. That's why Lisa was like, womp, womp, womp. Y'all both did the same thing. Because that's basically what she was saying.
Well, no, because that's after they apologized and said that they were leaving the door open. So I don't think
shit.
I don't think Lisa took it that way though.
I think Lisa took it as it fell flat. I think that's how Lisa took it. She was like, you tried. She was like, you tried and you failed.
Well, the best gifts I think came from Stansberry and Talene. Apparently Brooks.
Oh, with the wardrobe.
Yes, Brooks said basically on Twitter, basically show me one article of clothing that I wore of Talene's, and Talene wrapped it in a nice little box and a nice little bow and basically gifted it to her. But oh yeah, and Lisa made Stansberry the president of her fan club because she said that she's so obsessed with her.
I mean, that kind of fell flat for me too, except for the picture that she used.
Yeah, the picture. That's what did it.
That's where the real shade.
Andy looked at the picture. He was like, "Oh, okay, that's." But we can't not lie. Let me say something. Stansberry.
What they say, beauty is pain.
She looks damn good now. I'm not saying that she didn't before, but she looks young.
Yeah, and all the ladies complimented her. Nobody can take that away from her, whether you like her or not. The girl look good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to our recap of the part 2 of the reunion of Real Housewives of Dubai. Thank you for sticking up with us through the seasons. I know some people said that it wasn't all that, and but I can appreciate the Dubai girls. They give us luxuriousness, and I love it. If you haven't already, please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you are following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.